Hey everybody, we are going to talk tonight a little bit about nutrition. Hopefully a lot of you watch this recording because I'm really excited about this content. I was able to jump on a training from an upline mentor, and she has a lot of certifications in nutrition, and she's been a coach for a really long time. So I got a lot of really solid, like legit information from her, and it's just really cool to connect how this actually works with our nutrition and what we're doing and kind of the why behind it. So first of all, if you haven't done this yet, make sure you go to the program that you are doing and get your meal plan and actually walk through that starter guide and figure out what you're supposed to be eating, how much you're supposed to be eating. This is super, super important. The average person, like on average, doing nothing in a day, doing no exercise, we need 1,200 calories for the body to function properly. So I think this is where when people want to lose weight, they can kind of be like, oh, I need to eat less food. I need to eat, I need to go on a diet. And I think a lot of times people end up eating too few calories and they're losing a lot of the nutrients that they really need. And so your body just kind of goes into this state where it's like savoring everything you actually give it, and then you're not going to lose anything. In fact, you can actually gain weight by not eating enough, which sounds funny, but it's so true. So if you are exercising, you're going to have to eat more than that. So if you walk through your meal plan, it's going to have that calculation for you. And that's why that calculation is there, because it's super important to be eating enough so that your body can run how it's supposed to. So it's going to base it off of your current weight. So if that is changing, you'll need to recalculate that as you go along your journey. But we want to make sure that you are up to date with how much you're supposed to be eating. And something I heard with the Ultimate Portion Fix, one of our nutrition programs, she really is big on how we think about food. I think in society, we really think about food as just something that we can enjoy. It's kind of sometimes a social activity. Sometimes we're just eating it because it tastes good. And we're never really thinking about what it's doing to our body. So if we can think of our food as fuel and ask ourselves, what is this meal going to do for my body? It just really helps you process kind of why you're eating what you're eating and if you should be eating it. And it kind of takes away the negativity behind some of the foods that maybe we shouldn't be eating, or the foods that we need to be eating but we don't really want to. Like I just had some celery with peanut butter because I know it's going to fuel my body really well. Is it the most amazing thing? No, but I'm going to eat it. So if we think about it like that, you're really going to see a lot more changes with your weight loss or your muscle building, whatever your goals might be. So really think of food as fuel instead of as a diet and what do I need to cut out. Think about what you need to add in to give your body those nutrients that it needs. So she also gave a statistic that says 9 out of 10 people are actually nutrient deficient, which is crazy. But studies have actually shown that the nutrients in our soil are depleting. And so therefore the food that's being grown is not as nutrient dense as it used to be, hundreds of years ago. Also, we are going to the supermarket, and even if you're buying fresh food, you have no idea how fresh that really is. It's being picked somewhere across the country, and then it's being thrown into boxes and being transported on a truck and unloaded, and you have no idea how fresh that food actually is, and those nutrients really can deplete. We also don't know how this food is being grown. Farmers markets would be a really, really awesome place for like the freshest food that you can get. But that is where Shakeology can really come in and help you. And that's why I am so passionate about drinking it every single day, because even though I'm getting my fruits and my vegetables in, there is still a nutrient gap, and Shakeology helps to fill that for you. If you haven't tried Shakeology yet, let me know, reach out to me, and I would love to talk to you about it, because I have some packets that I can let you try. I just think it's so important, because when we are nutrient deficient, your body isn't going to function how it's supposed to. Again, the same with the calories, but you're going to crave different things. So maybe if you have like a pop addiction or a sweets addiction, like, yeah, I love sweets and I probably won't say no if you put one in front of me, but I'm not sitting here like, ooh, I need chocolate before I go to bed. You know, it's not like a actual craving that I have to fill, because I'm having that Shakeology that's filling all my nutrient gaps, and my brain isn't telling my body that it needs sugar or needs this junk food. A lot of times when we are craving junk food, it's because of a nutrient deficiency. It can also be from not drinking enough water. If you're eating a lot of fast food, your body really is just going to feel like shit. So you have to clean it up and figure out a fast way to eat the good foods, because there are substitutions to be able to do that, so that you can fit that into your life still and get rid of those crappy things that aren't fueling our bodies. There were a couple other things that she talked about. One of the biggest things, I think, is sugar. Sugar obviously is very bad, but we don't understand how it can be hidden in certain places. So it's not just grabbing a candy bar or eating a piece of cake. There are a lot of things that still have sugar in them. So if you look at like white bread compared to wheat bread, there's a lot more sugar in white bread. And you have to kind of be conscious of reading your labels, because there will be added sugars in a lot of things, like spaghetti sauce. If you don't get a no sugar added spaghetti sauce, if you look at the labels on the back, they will have added sugars. And they say that women should only have 26 grams of added sugars a day. So that's something to really be aware of. If you're having a cookie, it's okay, but don't have 5. The brand that I have found for no sugar added spaghetti sauce is called Newman's Own. And they have a couple different brands. I think they have an Alfredo sauce too, but it will say on the front, there's like a sticker or whatever that says no sugar added. But if you turn it around and look on the back, there is still a little bit of sugar in it because of the tomatoes. There's natural sugars in tomatoes. There's natural sugars in most fruits and vegetables. But it's the added sugar that you really want to look at. And that's just something simple that you can swap. And it's not going to take you any more time. You're still going to the store to buy spaghetti sauce. So just find one that doesn't have one. It tastes the same. You're not going to notice the difference. But the natural sugars don't count for this. You don't have to like figure out how much natural sugars in your fruit and, limit yourself to that. That is okay, because our bodies know how to process natural sugar. So we're digesting it well. Our bodies are using it for energy, and it's actually beneficial to us. The artificial sugars, our body is like, whoa, like, what is this? I don't know what to do with it. I want to get rid of it. So it's going to either store it as fat or it's going to come right out of you. And it's not doing anything for you. So even if you have like a food that you think is fueling you, like maybe you're buying a protein bar off the shelf, but it has a bunch of added sugar, that's really not going to fuel your body in the best way, because your body's going to try and get rid of that added sugar, if that makes sense. So it's really just pay attention to labels and read labels. Yes, beach bars are a really, really good option for protein bars. They're delicious. And yeah, just get better at reading labels and just paying attention to your grocery shopping. It's crazy how much sugar is in processed food. And it's not, processed food isn't always bad. You can still buy some things in boxes or in the freezer aisle. Not everything has to be fresh all the time, but pay attention to what you're buying. If you're buying fruit in the freezer section for your shakes, make sure that it's a no sugar added bag of fruit, because they do have those and they taste fine. Yeah, when you go grocery shopping, try to shop the perimeter of the store, because that's where all of your fresh foods are, like your meat and everything like that. Your milk, your dairy stuff is going to be all around the outside. Once you get into the inside aisles, that's where your preserved and your packaged and your artificial stuff is. So you're going to have to get a few things here and there from those aisles. Obviously, like brown rice is going to be in your indoor aisles. I don't know why I said indoor, the interior, whatever you would call that. So you're going to have to get a few things, but try to not have your whole shopping cart filled with stuff from that. You really want to get most of your stuff from the perimeter. What else did I want to talk about? That was most of it, but I did want to make a few points on Shakeology as well. We'll talk about it more individually if you want to try it out, if you're not drinking it. But even if you are drinking it, really educate yourself on what's in Shakeology and what it can do for you, because it's really going to increase your belief in how it's working for your body. And it might make you understand the things like how it's regulating your GI system, or maybe your stress levels have gone down a little bit. The back of your bag of Shakeology actually has all of the different groups of ingredients that it has. So like the adaptogen blend and the pre and probiotics, it tells you what those are doing. So a lot of the adaptogens are actually helping your stress levels, which is really cool. Like, you don't see that in a lot of other shakes, that people are actually taking the time and money to put something like that into your shake, because who isn't happier and healthier if they're less stressed, right? So if you look at that and just see like all of the ingredients that are put into there, like there's a ton of quality control that goes into this so that all of these ingredients can work together, and each individual one is still very potent and like blends well with the others. So that is why Shakeology is at a higher price point, because it takes a lot of time, a lot of research. All of the ingredients are literally coming from all over the world. They're not grown in a plant or outside of some engineering factory. They're not artificially grown here in the US. They literally come from all over the world. And so we're getting an amazing amount of superfoods and nutrients in this shake. Yes, it's worth it. We're big. But yeah, I honestly don't even think about the cost of Shakeology anymore, because it's so uncomparable to any other shake. I'm not saying that all shakes are bad other than Shakeology. It's just not going to be the same. So I know we were talking about a different kind of shake that was like all natural, and it was all like fruits and vegetables basically, but you didn't have, and it was a lot cheaper, but you didn't have any of the superfoods and the pre and probiotics and the adaptogens and stuff like that. So it's really, it's just not comparable. I also wanted to point out, if you are drinking some type of protein, a lot of women or athletes are trying to get more protein in, and they're not really sure what to look for on the back of a protein. The Beachbody Recover is amazing. I just made mine into a brownie batter before this call, thanks to Holly's suggestion. It's really good. But there are different types of protein, and if you are looking at a whey protein, it can either be a whey isolate or a whey concentrate. And a lot of people don't know the difference in that. I actually just learned this, and I've been drinking different proteins forever. So this is insane that I've never looked at this, and I kind of want to go look at some of the proteins that I've had in the past. The Beachbody Recover in Shakeology is made with a whey protein isolate. And what that means is it is 87 to 95% of the actual protein. So you're going to get like, I don't know how the best way to explain that. You're going to get like the 95% of the quality that you can in this protein. Does that make sense? And the way concentrate is different. So it's processed differently. It's made more cheaply, and you're only getting 34 to 80% of that. So if you're looking at a protein and it says it's 100% whey concentrate, that does not mean that you're getting like 100% of the nutritional value of that protein. You could be getting only 34. So I think that's a huge difference that people, like, there's so many products out there, and I think we just need to get better at reading labels and understanding what we're putting into our bodies. If we're thinking of food as how it fuels us, we really need to be paying attention to what goes into our bodies. So if we can go through a drive-through and just order food off the menu and not care, we should probably look into the ingredients a little bit more to what we're putting into our bodies, right? Yeah, it can be overwhelming. There are so many products on the market, and of course everyone's going to say theirs is the best. So for sure, try to do your research before you're getting anything. Stick to the Beachbody products, because honestly, I've never seen any products as clean as these. The Energize is all natural. There's nothing artificial in it. I've never had a pre-workout like that before. All the pre-workouts I've used in the past have like made me explode. They've made me go to the bathroom within minutes, like bad side effects. And this one is amazing. I literally drink it before work and I'm not like shaky or jittery or anything. It gives me that energy boost. So I truly believe that these products are so clean. And if you're trying to become healthier, why wouldn't you want a product that can help you do that? And it will work alongside with your goals. So yeah, that was kind of some of the facts and tips and stuff that I took in with that training today. Just kind of what I've learned over the past few years. But, my biggest thing is make sure you're eating enough. Make sure you are following your meal plan. Not 100% all the time. It's totally okay to have that treat here and there. But try to do what it's suggesting and really try to make those changes and substitutions and make little small changes at a time. So if you've been eating white bread, switch it to whole wheat bread or the sprouted bread that they have on the list. That one is kind of hard to find, I feel like. But switch it to whole wheat, or maybe substitute it for a grain like quinoa or brown rice, or potatoes, sweet potatoes. It can be anything. But if you're using the Ultimate Portion Fix, the food lists are actually in order of the most nutrient-dense foods at the top, and then it goes down to the bottom. So you'll see like bread and tortillas are at the very bottom. So try and kind of work through that list and maybe pick like one from the top, one from the middle, one from the bottom throughout your day. Like make sure they're not all coming from the bottom. If they're all coming from the top, that's great. But just make sure you kind of mix that up a little bit too, because you still do want to pay attention to the nutrient value and what you're putting in your body. So, okay. Any more questions you think anybody would have? I know the meal planning can be a little bit overwhelming if you're doing it for the first time. So my best suggestion is to just take, like, if you're using the containers, keep it really simple. Just see like the number of containers that you need and just start writing out your meals. So I normally write out like what I would eat for breakfast and then lunch and then dinner, and then I see what I have left and I fill those containers in with snacks. And I think it's a lot easier to write it out, and then you can adjust things and move things around and stick to that container count pretty well. But just keep it really simple. You don't have to, always be mixing and matching your containers. Don't eat really complex, fancy meals. Just keep them simple. My snacks, I usually have like a veggie container by itself, a fruit container by itself. Yeah, taco bowls. Taco bowls are amazing. And we can talk a lot more about different recipes that you can use too, but yeah, keep it super simple. Healthy eating does not have to be hard. It does not have to be expensive. A lot of times it's just swapping out something that you're already doing. So yeah, I think that's about all I have. Yes. Kelly said her grocery bill is actually less now. I found that too when I started meal planning because you are very intentional about what you're buying. You might be buying something that's 50 cents more because it's healthier, but you're not buying any extra crap and you're not wasting as much food. So it really does make a huge difference. You can eat healthy on a budget. We've all done it. And I truly believe that it is seriously just a choice. There's nothing that holds anyone back from healthy eating. So if you need any help, let me know. Let any of these girls know. Ariana and Kelly have been doing this for a while too. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna hit end record.